June.
All right, queers, we're here. Y'all are unmuted. Thank you, everybody, for coming out today. My name is Obsidian. I'm everybody's favorite Death Knight. And today we're going to be playing some Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. I'm sorry we didn't play last week, but I was a busy being in real life and didn't do combat prep stuff. But today we are here. As is tradition, we're going to do a brief round the table introduction for everybody's characters, and then we're going to do a session recap, and we're going to jump right into the action. We're in endgame here. Things are about to get spicy. So, first up, let us go with Paige the Mage.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Yulia. I go by Royal Knight VT on both Twitch and Twitter. I've got a little bit of a cold this week, but I'm kicking through it. So thanks, and I'm so excited to play.
We got big sick kitty hours, but we'll persevere. Next up, we got Illya.
Hello. My name is Lily. I play Ilya, and just very happy to be here, be queer, and uh, hopefully do some big fighting and not dying today because it's gonna be spicy.
I'm ready to be adjusting things as the battle occurs to compensate for things that may be improperly balanced.
I do that every fight as a DM, so there is no shade.
Cheater.
I literally cheat for you guys all the time. Next up, we have the horniest tiefling that this party could ever ask for, the big MILF herself, Euphoria, emphasis on the cocks.
Hello, everyone. I'm Meris. I play Lady Euphoria Cox, everyone's favorite hot pink tiefling MILF. Happy to be here. Happy to be queer. Really excited to do some combat. I don't know why everyone's nervous. Just don't get hit.
It's that easy.
It's just that easy.
Little
issues.
Yeah, little does Meris realize, though, you could have a 50% mischance, but if they still have a high enough plus, they'll still hit you.
Don't worry about it. It's all
Don't
good.
talk to us about numbers.
Never tell me the odds.
Thank you. And next up, we have your pal Malral.
Hey, I'm the pal Malral, also known as a very exhausted Litro from a very large, busy day at work. So if I'm a little low energy, forgive me, but don't worry, you got these other amazing people that's much more high energy than me.
Thank you, Litro. And last but never least, we've got it's Shawnee. It's her birthday.
It's your girl. It's her birthday. It is, in fact, not her birthday or his birthday. Hi, it's me, Sif. Real last night. Zero cat ears. Today's plan is we're gonna hit him really hard, and then we're gonna wait because we're gonna miss, and then we're gonna hit him hard again.
It is my birthday at the end of the week.
Oh,
shit.
We're gonna do we'll do an early Obsidian birthday song for you. Once Sif is done.
I love you guys. Okay, I'm good.
All right, we're gonna give the early birthday song for Litro, since we will not be playing later in the week. So, happy birthday, happy birthday, dearest Litro. There you go.
Yay! I'm turning 25.
Oh, kids these days.
One more year closer to losing that health insurance.
Your whole life ahead of you.
I'm 1 year off from MILF.
Yeah, you'll be those DILF hours in 5 more. But yes, so previously on Eberron Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers found themselves in the Shadowfell before, as explosions racked the city of Greywall. Eventually, Prince had to port them back because they were unauthorized visitors to the Shadowfell, and the various predators were going to start circling. And I'm dying. And then upon returning to Greywall, they got to survey the vast amount of damage done to the city, including that several parts of it had been destroyed by various magical bombs. They first went to Lady Crowtrixie's house, where it had been detonated and collapsed inward, but thanks to their efforts, they were able to pull her out as she was shielding her daughter and magically treated them. They then went to Lady, not Lady. You guys always call her Lady Ray, but she's not. That's not actually her title. They went to Flamebearer Raiden and Yen's chapel in the foreign part of Greywall, which had been destroyed in the same kind of explosions. And they had a brief talk with Chief Inspector Erlock Kronzahar, everybody's favorite tomboy cop orc. And she informed that she had actually been at Shawnee's park, like Spike Memorial Park in Greywall with the orphan kids that she was taking care of when the attack occurred. And then they went to the park where they found behind Spike's statue, Ray's broken and burned form was wrapped around the 6 children using what magical power she had with the help of Spike to be able to protect them. But unfortunately, she gave her life in the process. The party then went to talk to the governor, or they were flagged down to go talk to the governor of Greywall for the first time. And they met the great mind flayer, who simply calls himself the governor, since these people would never be capable of pronouncing his actual name and it's just not worth the effort, who proceeded to insult Shawnee a lot, but also was basically told the team that he would lend them the champions of Greywall to help fight the Ashbringers, since they decided to attack his city and his property, i.e. everyone in the city itself. And so when the time came, they could get Cryotrixia, Hecate, and Lilith to help them out. They then asked for a way to try and teleport themselves to Sharn to go check on their loved ones there, to which he informed them that he doesn't have teleportation, but he could kind of plane shift them, to which they started falling through the plane of air, because in Eberron, the plane of air actually overlaps with Sharn, which is why there's so much floaty stuff there. And so they proceeded to fly through the plane of air, but before they got munched by elemental burbs, they proceeded to fall into Shard, thankfully being caught by the various featherfall mechanisms in the city itself. And they proceeded up to the upper towers of the city, where they found the Ravamont apartment estate was destroyed in the attacks, and that Augustus had actually defended Oriana and the kids and had half of his body burned or exploded off and was on the brink of death, and the healers were unable to tend to him because of some level of chimeric energy mixed in, when the party asked Silonia to see if she could do anything because of her unique bond with chimeric energy, to which she was able to drain it essentially from him and allow the healers to continue working on him. And Oriana and Euphoria actually had a very touching diplomatic moment to each other, or with each other, as they kind of bonded over the fact that Euphoria and their crew came to help, and that maybe Augustus wasn't such a bad guy after all. They then went to the middle towers, where they found out the Skydock in Sharn had also been hit in the attacks, and Magnolia's airship that she was serving on, the Diligent, was destroyed in it. However, she was not aboard it because she was waiting deeper in the middle towers for Kairos to dock that day, because she had a date with his cousin, the first mate, Syra. So, but Kairos went off to go do something else, as Kairos is wont to do, so he didn't end up landing at all. So she was away from the explosion site. They then journeyed to the lower towers, where they got to experience the very worst of what happened in Sharn, as there were far less officials and far less healers available to tend to the many less privileged people of the city. And it was the Dask Crime Syndicate, led by LD, who was primarily trying to help people and pull them out of rubble and stuff. But unfortunately, they found out that LD and his boyfriend, the Goliath femboy Opal, were killed in the attacks when when the explosions destroyed his club. They then also found that the cat's childhood home was destroyed during the attacks, as well as the Knoll Pizzeria that they ate at long ago. And as they witnessed the destruction, Shawnee took charge of the Dask people, trying to get as many people helped as possible. And they found Coach and Kamar's professor had survived because the professor had seen what was going to happen and tried to warn Coach that they needed to get out of the place, but he instead went to go rescue the kids that he was otherwise teaching at his gymnasium. And in so doing, he and her were both injured, but they survived and saved the kids as well. She lost one of her eyes, and for the first time openly, she expressed romantic feelings towards Coach in front of Kamar and Shawnee. And once everything was kind of, got the idea of what had happened in the various cities, the heroes return on a lightning rail back to Greywall, where there was a brief discussion with Silonia informing them that she believes that Jarek is actually wrong about how to fix the Ashbringers. He doesn't realize there is a way to save them, that she had learned when from some of the memory crystals inside of the Last Stand, which is it would require an incredibly powerful cleric, which the only person strong enough to do it is the Keeper of the Flame in Thrain. But in theory, if the Ashbringers would be killed, they could be resurrected and removed from the Delkir, enhancements they had received, and could potentially bring them back to what they were. And so the party was having a heated argument about if they even deserve that at the end, because if they kill them and turn their bodies into the authorities, they can get 60,000 gold to rebuild all manner of things. But maybe there is hope for, saving them if they instead want to give up the money and put some faith in these villains' redemption arcs. But it was still left undecided, and it kind of is a back-burnered issue, because first of all, they have to kill the Ashbringers, which brings us to the start of our session. As you guys arrive back in Greywall, what is the first thing you wish to do?
Malral informed me that we could maybe bring Ray back, so I'm gonna go find a diamond really quick, you guys. I'll Malral, whenever you're ready, and I'd like it if everyone else is there too, I'll be where they're keeping Lady Ray's body.
It'll take me a day to prepare the spell.
She'll still be good, right?
If it's been less than a week, then yes.
Okay. Then I'll be back at home later.
There are also spells that can extend the timeline, but I do not have it.
If she's fine, then she's fine. I just I'm gonna go diamond hunting. I'll see you guys at dinner later. Johnny's just
I'll
gonna.
come with you. I'll come with you.
Thanks, sis. Shawnee
We're going
grabbed
to-
her sister's hand.
We're going to, I suppose, rally off and see what we can do in the meantime. You back
Thank
at the
you, Mom.
house?
Okay.
All right. So Kamar and Shawnee are going to Ray, and the rest of you. Well, Malral is going to prepare the spell. The other two of you are going to go back to the house. Just making sure I understand what's going on.
Yeah, it sounds
think-
about right.
I think
it's
so.
I have to prepare the spell at dawn to have it in my spell repertoire. So
Gotcha.
I'm free the rest of the day.
Gotcha.
So I'll just go with someone else.
I imagine we'd start to get the champions and folks, probably have them over for dinner or something. Like,
Okay.
just to, get everybody on the same page as quickly as possible.
Okay. So I'll do the kitties first. So you guys were basically told that Ray's body was going to be caretaken by Hecate at the Temple of the Dark Six, because Hecate is the most powerful cleric in the city, and she can gentle repose the body to keep it, okayish. She never liked Ray in life, but she respected her and what she was willing to do for the city, so she will take that on, and she knows how much Ray meant to you guys, despite her misgivings. So you guys can head to her temple, and acquiring a diamond is not hard in the city, especially with your guys' reputation. There will be the trusty hag that you always buy potions from here. She could be able to sell you one.
Do you have
Okay,
enough? Do you need me to?
I saved some cash afterwards after hearing what Malral said. I've already bought a few potions, so was it 1,000 gold diamond, right?
Here's 500 gold.
500? All right. 500 gold diamond, please. Thank you, ma'am. I guess if there's anything else, if the gang wants us to pick anything else up for them, we can, and that's just flavor text for all the potions the party will be getting for the last combat.
I think you may have marked down 1,000 because there was a second person you wanted me to raise. Was that right?
No, I
Yeah, you
don't
can't
think
raise
there.
LD. He's, first of all, he's an elemental, but secondly, he's also there was not enough there was not enough left of him.
Got his hat. Can you bring him back in his hat?
His hat is a part of his spirit.
The spell cannot regrow body limbs, lost limbs. I think a torso, legs, arms, and head all count as limbs that cannot regrow.
I think we're just gonna go and grab some potions then. So make sure we have everything. But she's gonna be okay, and
yeah, she'll be. I still can't believe that if we had this. It's stupid thinking like that, but 500 gold, our parents, everyone else who died. It's stupid is all.
think that life is worth it like that. How much?
I don't think life's worth 500 gold. I think it's something you can't put a price on, but I'll never understand gods.
Well, you're not dealing with gods, you're dealing with expert blacksmithing.
You're not here right now.
I'm not?
No, you're with Illya and Euphoria.
Yeah. Because you might need a day, but maybe Hecate. You think Hecate probably? You think she has that spell prepared? I mean, she's probably already done it for a few people in this town, right? Few important people, I guess.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to ask.
Yeah, come on.
Okay.
We make our way to Hecate's place of worship.
As you get to the Temple of the Dark Six, it's a comparatively unassuming building. It's made of a kind of like black marble, but aside from the 6 hash mark holy symbol of the Dark Six, it doesn't really have any other ornamentations on it or anything. There are still, a lot of people kind of camping out in front of it and stuff because they lost their homes in the attacks, or they have other issues and such. But everyone would just let you pass. They know you guys super well at this point. And inside of the temple itself, you see several goblinoids, as well as shifter acolytes who are tending to all kinds of injured people and suffering children, as you see, Hecate in her black robes with all of her snakes pulled back into a ponytail as she is healing various people. And she'll look up at you guys. Oh, you're back.
Hi, Hecate. We were told that you were watching. I mean, you're doing a lot, but you're also making sure Ray's body doesn't expire, right?
Yes, the governor instructed me as to what your situation was, so I had her body brought here and I've placed it in repose until you can prepare the ritual to try and return her soul to it.
You see, Malral needs some time to prepare the magic, but well, and then Shawnee like takes out the cloth and diamond inside of it and holds it out to her and's like, "Do you have that magic already ready? Do you think you could try?"
She looks sympathetic, but she just kind of slowly shakes her head and goes, "Unfortunately, that capability is beyond my skills. I am unable to return the soul to the body so long after death."
Well, that's okay. I mean, Malral said we had about a week, so we'll be back tomorrow to try then.
All right. Are you all right? I've heard and have seen what happened to your domicile, and I just wanted to check in on you.
Well, that's very kind of you. But I think we will be once all of this is over. But I had to carry that with me. I had to carry that frustration with me. I think it'll help in the last battle.
She kind of gives you a little bit of a sad smile, and puts her hand on your shoulder and goes, "The darkness is a part of life, and we have to be able to understand that it is ultimately what makes the light that much brighter."
Yeah. Just wish it didn't have to be so dark.
Shawnee's been just staring at the diamond the whole time and probably won't move until her sister says it's time to go.
If you excuse me, I have more injured people I need to attend to.
No, of course. Sorry for taking your time. Yes, thank you.
She kind of nods and goes, "May the Six watch over you."
I'll nod a little bit and turn back to Shawnee. We should probably tell Malral we got it.
Yeah, let's head back. Maybe some food will help out a little bit.
The rest of you three arrive at your mansion, and the whole front of it was absolutely obliterated in the explosion, and it's probably only like the back third of your mansion that is even undamaged anymore. But sitting in a single like cushioned chair in your living room, basically, that is now very open to the rest of the world, you see a dark gray-skinned elf with bright red reptilian eyes and white hair sitting there reading a book.
Comfortable?
She looks up at you and goes, and she closes the book and it promptly disappears into shadow. And she stands up from the chair, which also disappears into shadow. She goes, I unfortunately did not arrive in time to warn you. It seems that at least someone else decided to protect you.
Well, it pays to keep strays sometimes, I suppose.
See Prince walk out of the darkness, starts licking himself in front of her.
Damn it. For what reason do we have the pleasure of your acquaintance, Shana Korova?
Well, first I had intended to come here to warn you about the impending attacks, but it seems I only arrived in time to see them occur. I had to do my own shadow jaunt to avoid the explosion in front of your house, and by the time I had returned to this plane, you had already left. But I have waited for you, for I have information and resources that could potentially be helpful to you in your following maneuvers.
With the Ashbringers?
Exactly.
I mean, we'll take all the help we can get at this point.
Very understandable. As I told you, I cannot personally join you where you must go because of its unique relationship with my existence, but I can be able to provide you some information as well as a magical device that could prove useful in your assault. But I think it would be appropriate to wait for all of your companions to arrive before debriefing you.
Well, they'll be joining us shortly. They just had something to attend to first.
As well as the others, the champions, and anyone else who may be willing to lend a helping hand. I'm sure they will be here the next few days. I do not know if you intend to wait for them. I do not know if we can afford to wait, but the allies hopefully will gather.
If you tell me who you wish to contact, I can reach through the shadows and be able to bring them here.
That's incredible.
She just shrugs.
Well, in addition to the champions of Greyval, Euphoria, I do believe you said that Oriana offered her services.
Yeah, if you can believe that.
It is a bit hard to believe, but it would be welcome. If that's all right with
Far be it from me to stop a mother from protecting her own.
you.
Okay.
That, from my end, I think it would be helpful to have Snow as well as Acorn. They are masters of defense and protection. Things I think we could use given the firepowers that we're up against.
Speaking of firepower, knowing that Kairos and presuming his ship are still intact, it wouldn't hurt to have some allies in the air if we can reach him. And I think, considering the circumstances, now is as good a time as any to cash in our wild hunt card.
Ilya kind of looks over at Euphoria a little surprised. surprised that she's wanting to cash it in now.
We got a big fight ahead of us. I think we're gonna need all the help we can get.
I suppose that's true. In that case, might as well extend the invitation to the Seeker of the Flame and the Keeper of the Flame and the Ladies Lever. Any assistance would be very welcome.
All right, I can start following up with them. It will take me a little time to go to so many different locations, so I would recommend that you probably find someplace less. She gestures to the exploded room around her.
A little less ruinous. Noted.
I would assure you that there is probably a very good breeze, but I don't think that's exactly what you might be going for.
Well, thank you for your help.
She gives you one of those big fangy smiles as her eyes do that like sideways blink that like lizards do. And she goes, it is not truly help, it is assistance because you must fulfill a very important task for me. I wish to see you succeed.
Well then, thank you for the assistance. We'll do our best to see it through.
She nods, and then she just takes one step back, and all you see is the rest of her body melting into shadows as those two red eyes continue staring at you before they blink again and are entirely gone.
You know, for not being a fae, she certainly acts awfully fae-like in some ways.
I don't imagine our wine rack survived the ordeal, do you?
Is Lily around? I'm just gonna scan the area for her.
She is not in the house.
She's out sick.
But one day.
For one sick day.
Oh man.
Figured after a terrorist attack on her home, she would take her sick day when everyone was gone.
Left a note on the fridge.
Cashed in all that PTO, all 24 hours of it.
No, she is apparently currently staying at the governor's mansion. Just because your house got destroyed and nobody was here. So
Yeah.
so somebody,
I imagine that's where the others are as well.
yeah.
Okay.
If you want a drink, Malral just goes ahead and pulls out a flask.
Oh God, thank you. I knew you'd be prepared.
It's more of that dragon breath grog that he had
Excellent.
made.
Your fire
takes
water.
a hearty sip from the flask, hands it back to you. All right. Well,
We did agree to meet the cats here, so
yeah, now we wait. It's a shame. The kids worked so hard to get this place.
I built an entire wall in the course of a week. Do you think I can't rebuild a house?
I suppose that's true.
Maybe-
You may be in high demand in rebuilding this city.
maybe we can expand a little bit in the future.
I'm going to add so many secret murals.
Did Shawnee's garden survive?
It did not.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay, you killed all of her loved ones. Now you destroyed your garden.
All of her loved ones, but the garden is where I draw the line.
That's a move too far.
You've gone
Yeah,
too
you can
far,
throw it
DM.
back.
Too far.
At about this time, your cats return. You guys see your broken ass home with your cat cleaning himself.
Now, why did you stay, Prince?
Meow.
Well, please
Well,
come with us in the future.
Yeah, I don't much care why you're still here. She'll pick him up and like carry him like a little baby. You're our good luck charm.
Meow. And he
Still
just
not giving you any more catnip.
he nuzzles against Euphoria as he sticks his tongue out at Malral.
You gotta go clean.
How'd it go?
Oh, we got one. Whenever
That's
Malral
good.
was able to do the spell.
As soon as I can prep myself in the morning.
Speaking of, what are we gonna do for the night? This place doesn't
Well?
exactly look comforting right now.
Well, I imagine that we could probably have a place at the governor's.
We were informed that is where Lily as well as the others. So, seems like that will be our base of operations, at least for the time being.
Should we wait until all of our friends get teleported here first?
I imagine Shana Cordova can meet us wherever she wants. She seems to have a bit of a sixth sense. Yes.
You know the Emperor has baths at his place?
The Emperor?
I mean the governor.
I wrote the governor.
Using my elephants.
First of all, the governor is a canon Eberron character. Secondly, this was long before Baldur's Gate 3.
I slipped.
In a completely different universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the governor has like baths at his place.
I'm sure he's got
This place has an
plenty.
empire?
I just want to soak in a tub and not think for a while.
That sounds so lovely. I'll probably take fun of my own, just the same.
Come on. Let's go. I don't think there's... Shawnee takes a look back at the ruins of their house. I don't think there's anything here for us right now.
Oh, actually, one moment. And Illya is going to go up into the ruins of the house. And she's looking for the painting that Paint did.
Okay.
Is it still there?
I think that was in the basement, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's
I think
where
it
they
was.
kept it.
Is that
Yep.
where you guys kept it? I thought it was in one of the higher rooms.
Yeah, I thought it was like in the staircase part of the foyer.
I don't know, man. It's been a long time since that
Yeah.
painting ever came up, so...
I think we would have left it out somewhere people could have seen it.
Okay.
In
What?
that case, it's destroyed.
Yeah, dude.
Oops.
It
You
is...
should have said it was in the basement.
Yeah, if it wasn't in the basement.
It's
It
still.
magically survived! We can
Yeah.
always get a new one. I
It
guess.
would be, I'm going to say, partially destroyed. I'm going to give you part of the painting.
You're fine.
Which part, Obs?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Who was cleanly burned out of the
We
picture?
need
Only that
the
one person.
symbolism. Which
Yeah,
part
yeah.
survived?
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it would be probably, I'm gonna be real catty about this. It's gonna be Kamar, Illya, half a Juby. That's what made it through.
Oof.
Damn.
Oof.
Seth
Oh.
can't even be a part of this either.
Because Seth died already, so
Oh.
Yeah. Ah. I'm sorry.
I'm glad that I had forgotten that painting even existed.
It's okay. I will survive in the epilogue if I live. If I live, we live. We'll live. We'll live. We'll live. We got this.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Okay.
But yeah,
Let's
what
go to
did
the
you want from the
Emperor's.
painting?
I think she just wanted to see if it was okay, but kind of seeing that it's, partially scarred, I imagine she'll kind of take a hold of it and then just kind of nod for a second before, honestly, probably setting it into the basement where it will be safe.
All right.
That's all. That was just one thing I was curious about, since that's like the one thing that cannot be replaced in the house, really.
Yep.
Hmm.
Okay. So with that, do you guys head to the governor's mansion?
Yeah.
Yeah, and just for the sake of brevity, Euphoria will fill the cats in on who all they invited to join them on their way there.
Okay. Yeah, so you guys get the brief about who's being summoned. You guys get to the mansion, and Lily comes running out the door to go give you guys a hug. You're okay. Was everything all right in Shard?
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, Lily, but it's still standing mostly.
You guys are okay, and that's where our home is. So it's all right.
I'm glad you all are safe at least. I've been staying here the last few days since, well, the house is gone.
Have you been at least taking some time off, dear Lily?
Well, with you guys gone and the house gone, I decided to use my 24 hours of leave.
God damn it.
I
We only
figured
give her
it was
24
after 1
hours?
year, it was use it or lose it.
Oh my god!
I think we need to rework this PTO policy.
Crying in
Please.
HR right now.
You can just be family, Lily. You don't have to. You can just live with us.
Take away her
Full strings
benefits?
attached.
Never.
My health insurance!
You have
This
health
really is
insurance
a
with, like, 1 day
capitalistic
off.
society.
Fuck.
Oh gosh.
It's so fucked here.
But yeah, so
Well, you always can. I'll talk to Captain Venom Spite about finding you guys rooms in here. She's been taking in some of the locals.
The dental policy is just a nail file.
Oh my god.
she's a goblin. They probably have like, their teeth grow like rats, so they need to constantly be chewing.
Well, it's good to hear that the Emperor said it too. Fuck.
Stop it.
The governor has been welcoming those that have been hurt with open arms.
Yeah, said that if they're the important people that you guys need, they'll take care of them.
Did everyone else from the house settle down here as well?
I think you guys like took all your companions with you.
Yeah,
We did?
Yeah, well, you had Silodia to do stuff in Shard.
Well,
so
I knew she was with us. I didn't realize everyone else was as well.
it wasn't really talked
Friends
about.
grabbed
So
everyone. Yeah. Hand wave, they're with us.
sure,
Cool.
yeah. But yeah, she'll take you in, and you'll see Crowtrixia and Venom Spite will be there. Crowtrixia and Cleo are going to give you guys hugs and everything. But the Venom Spite kind of goes, I'll see to it that you guys have rooms. I know a wing that isn't used.
Thank you.
Just kind of grunts and directs you to your temporary abodes.
Once a soldier, always a soldier. Just give me a bedroll and I can sleep anywhere.
Kind of looks up at you and goes, "Well, there's no reason for you not to take a room. It's not like there's a dearth of them here. I was told that you all needed some time to prepare for before we strike."
What exactly is the ETA on that?
Well, Shana Korova said that she would be taking some time to gather everyone. I assume that would be at least a day.
I will
So-
say, if you want me to revive someone tomorrow, bring them back from the dead, I will be down a 5th level slot going into the attack.
I'm glad you
That's
said
a
that
fifth
in
level slot.
character. Yeah, my 5th level spells are just gonna be totally fucked, guys.
What the fuck is that?
What? Wait, what?
I don't know how to say it. I don't know how to say it in lore. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine.
Some of my more powerful magic will be unavailable to me.
My
There you go.
greater reach into the divine weave.
On a scale of
My-
1 to 5, my
I'm sensing
My blacksmith
fives.
hammer won't be as smithy.
But yeah, so it will likely, because you do get some information that you will be going into the Mournlands, and even if Kairos flies you there, it's going to take him at least 2 days to basically get to the Mournlands themselves. You might be getting all of you might be too much for Sharnakorova at once.
All right. In that case, we sleep, wake up, revive the dead, and then get on a ship and go to Sharn. Right? ETA
Seems-
about 2.5 days.
Seems apt. Yeah.
All right.
All right, so the night of before the alleged resurrection happens, is there anything anybody wishes to do specifically?
Get hammered.
Awesome. No pun intended.
Apparently, we're all taking baths too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
want some group bats?
Oh, like a bathhouse.
Yep. Passion has been trained for this moment.
I'll just find if I can find it. I'll be like grab one of like Crouch or his giant wine bottles and just drink the entire thing.
Yeah, there is as much liquor as you could ever need here because the governor doesn't use it and you guys are invaluable resources right now. So you're gonna have some nice comfy baths, you're gonna get some drinks. Anything else anybody wishes to do or say before we flash to the next day?
I would like to speak to Shani.
Ooh.
We can talk in the bath.
Sure.
Or I don't know, it's reach for it. Don't worry. Whatever you're comfortable with.
It's whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Say, if you're going to be spending like 2 hours in a bath getting all pruny, then I suppose there's no better place.
Shawnee's just float. If you guys come in, Shawnee's already like just floating in the middle of the bathhouse with like the diamond and a few other things like her bangles resting on the side.
Good evening, Shani.
Oh, hey there, Illya. And she's like she turns upside down, kind of like blurbles the words out instead of speaking clearly, and turns up to face you. Doing
Dude,
alright?
I think so, given given everything, but are you?
No.
Hmm.
I mean, I know things will be fine. I know we'll get Ray back. I know I'll grow and accept the loss of LD and so many others, but I can't tell my heart to feel that way. Before, I used to get so angry, but now that I don't have that anymore, I'm just sad.
Illya goes and kind of sits down on the edge of the just and quietly just says, "Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting you to say no to the initial question. If anything, that's at least a good sign in some ways."
You've seen me grow. I'm not afraid to share how I feel anymore. Still doesn't make it hurt any less, though.
No, nothing will ever make it hurt any less. Losing people you cared about, as we both know, is something that sticks with you forever. And there's no magic tricks, no switch that can possibly make it just go.
All we can really do is do our best to make ourselves feel better, to get through the loss and the grief. Which is why I'm pruning in this tub right in this. This is a tub. Is it just called a bath?
It's either or, really, I suppose, but how long have you been in here?
There's no. I mean, the windows were like the light coming through. There was more light coming through earlier, and now it's dark now. Uh, I don't know. I'm not pruning up though. I think that's because whatever Spike's doing in me.
Well, I don't know how cat shifters deal with water, if I'm
Oh,
being honest.
because I'm a cat, I don't like water.
No, that's not at all
Because
what
I'm
I
a cat,
meant.
I like fish.
Can
Have you know,
cats get
fish is
pruny?
very tasty.
I merely was asking, merely insinuating that I don't know whether or not cats get pruny.
I don't know either. Shifters don't really know a whole lot about that culture and, well, biology. I mean, yeah. No, biology's
Yes.
fair. We all go through different puberties. There is no set standard. It's so fucking weird.
It is strange, coming from the Feywild to mortal life. Everything is quite different, from the physiology to the emotionality to everything, I suppose.
Well, I wouldn't say the emotionality's still different. I mean, people in the Feywild, the Shadowfell, they might not have the same, well, humanity, as shitty as a term as it is, but there's still life. I don't know. I mean, you being the obvious example in your care for it, but I mean, even Prince cares. I mean, he didn't just
That's
save us because it was the best option. I
mm,
think he cares.
something like that. It is a bit strange. Fey are born without souls. So, somewhere along, perhaps he gained something. A little bit of a fragment, like I have.
I
But
mean, I think that soul theory's a bunch of bullshit, to be honest.
maybe.
Every life mattered at some point or another. Who gives a damn, right?
Though your experience with true Fae tends to be a bit more negative than your experiences with me. Am I wrong?
Okay, well let me frame it like this, right? Let's say you and whoever you were into, maybe like a pink tieflin or whatever, got taken away by an is Oberon an archfey?
I mean, that's a word for it, yes.
Yeah, whatever. By a great fae, and you had to immediately process that within a handful of minutes, and you could
Oh,
never see them on your own again.
I think I know where this is going, but please do continue.
It's not a very good impression.
No, it is not.
If the Silver Flame were to do something like that with Lady Ray, at
Hmm.
least I'd be better for it the second time around.
You know, my
uh,
My father is a part of the wild as well. Sure he
I'm s-
was.
It's just weird hearing you say that you have a dad.
Isn't it? I don't talk about him very much.
Tell me about
But
him.
I don't really remember too much at this point, but he was a member of the Wild Hunt. And no Fey parents are really truly good parents, if I'm being honest, given what I've learned here in the mortal realm. I don't even know if he cares that we are gone. In fact, I assume that he is not. But that's why I didn't ask when we went to the hunt. Just assume he moved on. Fey do.
Mm, do you miss him?
Maybe.
Then maybe he'll miss you too.
Hmm.
There was a time where I didn't think Ray would give me, a second of her own mind, but now that I know I occupy like a good chunk of a brain, I have faith that she misses me as much as I miss her right now.
No matter what happens,
Mhm.
I do plan on reconnecting with him.
I mean, it'd be kind of hard for him not to. I mean, you're going to open up a whole portal between two realms. I mean, kind of impossible to not say hi to your kid at that point.
Yeah. I hope this has been enlightening and allowed you to sort of just vibe,
Mm.
as they say, the kids.
Imagining you as a kid has been a very healthy distraction, but what would be more helpful is if you actually got into the bath yourself, despite its heat, you know?
I'm okay. Yes, you have caught me. The bath is a little bit intolerably hot for someone like me.
You know you can make ice, right?
I know, but I don't want to ruin it for other people. I came in here so late because I thought that everybody would be gone, if I'm being honest.
Well, exactly. No one else is gonna be here. Come on, make a few ice flows and just get in with me, alright?
Okay. I'll make a little barrier around myself, how long it
Mm.
lasts.
I'll wash your hair and stuff, come on. Managing it so long is tough. Maybe I should grow up my own, though.
Yeah, it's pretty long if you can get it into that big of a ponytail. Little poofy spiky thing.
It's still just to my shoulders. No, we'll see.
Mine's not much
Ma,
further.
Ma had crazy long hair. Just ask her Ma about it.
Hmm.
Anyways.
This was nice, Shani.
Mm-hmm. I heard that Drome has a few other hot springs too. Maybe you and a certain pink tiefling could check him out.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we can wind down the night from there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are there any other talks that want to happen with anybody?
I did want to talk to my blue girlfriend, yes.
Okay. Go talk to your blue girlfriend.
Post bath with all done up hair.
Yeah, just toweled up, getting out of the bath, going into her room.
Euphoria will catch her as she, comes back to their room and just, how are they doing?
I'm a little bit proud of them for saying that they're not doing all right, but that leaves the problems that they're not doing all right.
Who would right now? I'd be a little
Indeed.
more concerned if anyone said they were doing okay.
That was my initial worry, that I would come in, ask how they were doing, and they would say, "Oh, I'm fine," but yeah.
Hmm. I just, I keep thinking about everything that happened in Sharn, and it was just I'm sorry, I'm about to get all morbid and sentimental. Um, I knew Marion Augustus. I knew I would outlive him. It's just the way things are, isn't it?
Hmm.
I'm sure you being a Ladron, you can relate. I knew one day I would watch him die. But coming so close to it, I mean, even after everything that we went through, everything we put each other through, just seeing him like that, my heart just seized in my chest. I've never quite experienced that kind of fear before. It seems silly, doesn't it?
Even
Considering that,
mm,
you know, what he and I had is that's history, but
but the times that you did spend together, it did mean a lot to you. There were happy moments. Yes?
yeah.
When you when you care for someone, even if the feelings fade, you do still miss them. Miss what you had in at least some way. I feel like I'm almost a broken record, but I told Shawnee a bit about my father when we were in the tub.
Your father.
Mm, yes. Mm. Long story short, he's a part of the Wild Hunt. But
Still.
I would guess so. We don't really change jobs very much in the Fae.
Huh.
Whether it be a contract or pact bound, etc. I don't think it's with the Houndmasters, that's for sure, but you know, when you align yourself to one court, you don't exactly switch. But Shani got me thinking about if I miss him. I barely even remember him at this point, but it still stirs a bit of a knot in my stomach thinking about if he even cares that that we've been gone. If he, but all that to be said, there's nothing wrong or nothing inherently incorrect about caring about someone, even if their position in your life is not what it used to be.
I
They still,
think,
they still matter.
you know, we had good times, he and I. And whether it was foolish or otherwise, I genuinely loved him. And in that moment, maybe it's that foolishness still, but I think a part of me always will, if only for the fact that he's the father of my children. And I thought about Maggie, poor Magnolia, and what her life would be like without him, having lost Juby too, and having a wanderlust mother. I didn't want my girl to be alone.
Hmm. When a child loses their parent, it can seem like a large portion of them is gone. And it is. But you raised some strong girls.
I
They're never,
did.
they're never truly going to be alone. I mean, Maggie, speaking just on her behalf, you can see the ways that she lights up a room. It's, it's, it's quite incredible, really. Even with all the hardship, she still has this unbound optimism. And I don't think she got that from you or your father, if I'm being honest.
No, Maggie always had, well, growing up we called it her rebellious streak, but she marches to the beat of her own drum. That's for certain. I guess all this to say is perhaps a part of me understands now at least a little bit of what it must feel like for you and Kashan, and I feel so downright silly that I was ever worried that I'd have to compete with ghosts. So I don't I don't want either of you to feel like you have to separate that part of your lives from what's currently happening.
Hmm. She'll walk over to Euphoria and just kind of give her a tight squeeze as hard as she can with her lacking strength.
A Herculean 8 strength hug
A
versus a
Herculean 8
Herculean
strength.
8 strength hugged.
um, just quietly say, the people we have now are what truly matters. It doesn't discount the impact those we have lost, whether it be from passing or moving on. They stay with you, always. And Dokrin, though I loved him and do still love him in my heart, I love too much to let myself hang on the laurels of fun.
Euphoria, you can tell she's a little misty-eyed, but then she clears her throat and just, you know what pisses me off the most though?
Oh, heel turn here, go ahead.
The fact that shush. The fact that all this destruction and devastation in Sharn and in Greywall, but my mother's fucking dimensional door is still standing. Pisses me off.
Did you want it to be there?
I don't know what I wanted. I think a part of me might have felt some relief if it was gone, but I should have known better. She's if one door closes, another will open.
Hmm.
I just wouldn't know where.
I mean, it's besides the point in a lot of ways. If we do end up moving to the Feywild, then, well, maybe. Do you think that she has a door there that she'll be able to come and say hello whenever she wants?
Oh yes, I
Ugh.
would think so.
Oh goodness. I do not exactly relish the thought of her coming to greet us in the Feywild, but
Well, maybe in your, scholarly attempts to rebuild a portal, you can find an anti-portal just for
So,
her.
in your downtime from being the Houndmaster, if you can find said portal, then maybe we could put it to test. But I imagine she has it hidden very well.
Yeah. Well, we've got a big day tomorrow, and the day after that, and after that, and after that. And hopefully the world will still be around by then, so we'll get some rest while we can.
Indeed. Just jokingly, sort of trailing off. By the way, baths are so hot, and I never really quite realized how hot they can be.
Are they? I find they're always lukewarm for me, no matter how hard I try.
Listen, for 25 years of not being as I currently am, they are so hot. But either way, it's kind of nice.
Malral just walking down the hallway, mumbling to himself, "Why are the baths so cold?"
And with that, they will have a cuddle puddle and fall asleep.
Excellent. Shen will hold you both close.
Aw.
He was there the whole time.
Yep.
Yeah, just chilling as they're having this little
Just
heart-to-heart
drinking
moment.
some sake as you guys talk, as the women talk.
He was doing some calligraphy. He couldn't
Yeah,
interrupt
yeah,
his
yeah.
own.
He knew that Euphoria needed a drink after, so he was getting ready.
Anything else tonight? All right. Morning comes. You all wake up. Some of you who haven't bathed in 25 years are still a little stinky, but but yeah, so you guys can meet back up, and do you wish to head to the Temple of the Dark Six?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Let's go.
So you get there, Hecate sees all of you, and she leads you into it's not quite a morgue per se, but it's it's an area where some of the bodies are being kept to be, processed for whatever rituals the Dark Six does to transition the dead and everything. And so she will direct you in, and you see, there's a cloth over Ray's body. There's a little black cloth with gray trim to it, and when you were all in there, and is there anything I need to do to prepare this site for you?
Yes, I need the embers of a forge, my hammer, the diamond that Shawnee has, and you need to draw on her face.
Mal, the humor
Yes.
is not a good time right now.
This isn't humor. You actually need to draw on her face. It's like the markings of a loved one. It can be either just like a signature, a heart. It can be anything that just symbolizes your love. I'm not joking.
All right. Shawnee's going to place the diamond onto Ray and do the markings.
Okay. Hecate will get one of her acolytes to go get some forge embers for you. Bring in the whole motley crew of stuff.
Okay. Once the body is properly prepared, Malral will pull out his hammer, and you will see what appears to be a spectral anvil appear over the body. Malral will start banging on it again and again and again, and it takes about the course of an hour. As you can see, every time he bangs it, even though the embers of the forge are cold, as he continues to bang, they heat up. And ever so slightly, he tries to call out to the soul that once inhabited the vessel and seek if it wishes to return.
Okay. After several bangs of your spectral anvil, you do see before you a the best way I think to describe it is illuminated from within, a kind of being that seemingly has a fire inside of them that lights up their skin with a very ethereal glow, as wearing what is very closely fitted, white tunic and pants with a silver flame holy symbol around her neck. And she is a hobgoblin, but she does not have any magical augmetics. It is, you see both of her, orange eyes and her two hands, and her face is not at its usual eternal, scowl and sneer from it being peeled back from scar tissue. And she looks over at you all and goes, "I see that you were calling. I felt the need to answer."
Yeah, this isn't exactly a house call, Ray. We're getting you back, right?
I see that you have gathered significant resources and capabilities to try and return me, but I must inform you that I cannot return.
What do you mean? The spell is fine. I mean, is there something blocking you? Something we have to do next? What?
I cannot force the soul to re-enter.
I'm
It is their
asking her.
choice.
I'm asking her. Okay.
I have a new assignment that I must follow.
What do you mean?
She's like standing at it, like basically like a kind of parade rest with her hands behind her back, as she looks, down at you, Shawnee, and goes, "I have been given a rare opportunity to help others in a way that I could not in my previous form. I've been given the ability to help people who need someone like me, and I cannot so easily decline it."
Oh. I get it. This is it for you. Yeah? This is what you want?
I have lived a less than ideal life. I have overcome the challenges that confronted me. I learned to trust and love people I never thought I would, or I felt I would always be alone. But I gave most of my body to save their lives, and I felt lost in those days, for my purpose had been eliminated. I was no longer capable of serving as a Templar to the Flame. I was no longer capable of wielding my bow as capably as I could before. And then the Hearth Mother and the Flame spoke to me and showed me a new light, and rekindled the fires inside of me, and showed me that I could help others in a new capacity. And I did such, despite how I was treated and despite what I dealt with. I then realized why. When I was trusted with those children, I saw in them a bit of myself. They were alone. They were clanless. And I helped, at least I like to think so, give them some sense of camaraderie and community. And when the time came, I gave my life to protect them. I do not regret this, but it is the fulfilling of a purpose long set in motion. Now I am as I've always felt I should be. Now I'm helping guide people like Cliff back to where they belong, to lead them out of the darkness and lead them home. And honestly, I feel that this is naturally the new purpose that the Flame has shown me, that the Flame has given me. And I have never been one to decline a challenge in my life or shirk from my duty. And so I feel like there are enough people with you and where you are that someone else can handle the leftovers of my own responsibilities. And you see Ray do something you've literally never seen her do in the year that you've known her. Partially because she was physically incapable of doing it appropriately, but she actually smiles. It seems to be a rather difficult gesture for her to execute, but you definitely sense that there is an actual kind of joy in those words as she smiles at you, Shawnee.
A singular tear forms on Shawnee's eyes and goes down, and she looks at her and says, Don't worry, I get it. This is what you want to do. This is who you want to be, even if that meant giving everything else up. I won't question that, not in the slightest. And then Shawnee sort of like tries to hug the spirit best as he could.
Yeah.
We'll be fine. I'll make sure the rest of our clan has a good home. But you have to promise me one thing, okay? No matter how well off we are out here, whenever you get a chance to, give yourself a break to stop saving the near endless supply of people you want to help, just stop for a second and look at us, okay?
She goes, you feel like a big warmth fill you as you attempt to hug her. And she looks at you and says, do not doubt for a moment that I will stop watching over you. The flame only knows what you all would get up to if I wasn't watching. But I hope that we will not have to cross paths for quite some time. As she smiles at you.
Don't worry, Ray. I'll make good on my purpose like you did, and cause a whole lot of trouble before I ever see you.
She kind of nods, goes, and I know that you will do your best, and I can only pray to the flame that somehow your righteousness exceeds your mischief. But please ensure that those children grow up to be good and righteous people. I want them to have a better life than the one I did in their place.
Don't worry, Ray. After all you've done for them, we're all gonna make sure they cross even further than you ever got to. And Shawnee will just hold the spirit there for as long as it's willing to stay before it fades off into the ether.
I'm sorry that I could not give you all what you desired, but from what I understand, the world needs you, and may the flame light your way.
Does she fade away after that?
Yeah, and she bows and as if in prayer and disappears.
Malral makes one final bang on the anvil before the diamond that's on her chest just shatters into a million pieces.
Actually, I was wondering, since the spell doesn't go through, if I could have that diamond.
Nope, it's on use. It's consumed on use.
I'm asking
I
the DM.
will allow you to keep the diamond because I did tell you that this would happen.
500 gold on mechanics. No, I will continue to use this for RP. Shawnee will then take the diamond and some of the embers and bits of gold scraps from her own body and inventory, and you guys see her like channeling all the radiant energy from her weapons into her fists, and you hear like this god awful crunching noise. And then she walks up to her sister and while still actively putting pressure on the diamond, looks at her and goes, I know we talked about life being worth way more than we could ever fathom, but if I had to trust anyone else with this option, it'd be you. And Shawnee lets go and puts a very warm and tingly necklace around Kamar's neck with a crudely heart-shaped diamond encrusted in gold.
Honey, you know I'll take good care of it.
I know, sis. It's quite literally got a part of me with it, too. And you've always been the best at taking care of me. And they do a little forehead nuzzle. And before Shawnee lets Hecate take away Ray's body for process, Shawnee's gonna take Ray's amulet of the silver flame, put it around her own neck. If that's okay, if that's like really
no,
rude.
that's
Okay.
fine. It's fine.
Yeah. She is good.
It's gonna get cremated anyway in Silver Flame tradition.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel?
I feel lighter, at least. Definitely lighter.
It's good to know that she has her happiness where she is.
No. Yeah.
That's what we're all searching for in the end, isn't it?
hmm Let's go make sure we can go find our happiness now, okay? Sean and Corey should be back soon, yeah?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I
Come on,
believe so.
let's go then. I don't want to cause more trouble for Ray by sending a whole needless amount of souls to her anyways. Let's go.
Okay. Over the span of a few hours the next day, you see your various allies appearing out of the shadows in the governor's mansion, and then you hear a massive, whirling of magical energy as an airship appears out of the sky, just like ripped open a portal and plopped down. And
You can hear Kairos' "Oh good heavens" from like the ground level.
oh my! what a thing to happen! As
It's Kairos. Common as ever. Sorry.
yeah, as all of your allies are now gathered in one place, except for the Keeper of the Flame, obviously. she did not come.
Damn.
Is Juby here?
You guys actually have the power to summon Juby.
Gotcha. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah, you have your mini horn that allows you to summon Juby.
I think Euphoria has it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Euphoria.
that's
Is Euphoria here, Lily?
Euphoria is here. I just didn't know if other people would be arriving before I sound the plot horn.
Just everybody's here now.
Cool.
All right, as you sound the plot horn, you see a big portal rip open in reality as purple, blue, and green energy courses out of it, and out steps Jubilee in her full armor and her universe spanning or universe colored cloak billowing behind her.
You called?
Indeed, we did. Now is the time to take the fight to the Ashbringers.
Well, you can count on me. I'll bring forth everything that I've got.
How does she look?
How does she look, Jubilee?
Juby, I would say, is very much, for those who, know her well, as you all do, you might be able to tell that while there is pride in that statement, that she is able to provide, such powerful aid to your cause. And she stands very stoic in her armor. You can't help but wonder, can't help but notice that armor looks real heavy.
Mm.
You, as you're all gathering around the summoned Jubilee, you hear a voice that says, coming from behind Jubilee, to where Kairos' airship is, and goes, "My knight in shining armor."
Honey, stay too. Fuck Kairos, man. Honey.
Juby will she noticeably perks up at that and turns to face Kairos, but has a very kind of sheepish expression. Just, hello, Kairos.
He walks forward and just gives her the biggest smile, as there definitely seems to be tears at the corner of his eyes, as he walks up and looks down to her and goes, "It's been too long, but you're just as lovely as I remember."
And you haven't lost an ounce of your charm.
He sends out his arms to hug her.
She'll kind of uncharacteristically so, but she won't hesitate to just pull him close into a real tight hug and just give a big deep sigh and just, I should have said something, sent word. I'm sorry that I wasn't there.
But you're here now. And at this point, that's all that matters to me. As he's crying.
She'll wipe a tear from his eyes and just, I'm here to help. But I think we're going to be relying a lot on you, Captain.
Well, then I guess I cannot disappoint. If everyone's expectations be falling on my shoulders, I've never tried to look a fool in front of you, despite my many efforts to the contrary. He just kind of laughs a bit as he eventually lets go of her.
I'm sad it's come to this, but it is good to see everyone again.
We don't know how long it has been, but I know everyone here is very pleased to see you answer the call.
Of course.
And Illya will kind of nudge Euphoria like a bit, just being like, you good?
Euphoria just kind of nods and, puts a hand on Juby's shoulder and just kind of looks her over and just says, well, you look good, kid. Thanks, Mama. When this is done, provided we're all still standing, I think you and I should have a chat, catch up. And there's a flicker of understanding in Juby's eyes. She just gives a little nod. That's what you want. We can do that. Vora just nods. And then steps back, noticeably making a window for Shawnee.
I trying to be respectful from the Kairos Juby angle. God, I just have this mirroring of like Euphoria, Illya, and Kai Shen facing Shawnee, Juby, and Kairos. God damn.
Go for it!
Like mother, like daughter. Ugh.
Make it happen!
Sorry for not speaking up sooner. You and Kairos were catching up, and Yama and stuff, and are you
It's
okay?
Oh. Yeah. I'm okay.
You know, I haven't done any major smithing aside from like crushing a diamond for my sister recently, but that armor doesn't. I mean, if it works for you, great. I'm not. I don't know about your profession, but you don't look comfortable in it.
Oh.
It's-
I kind of thought I cut a dashing figure.
I mean, you always did, no matter what, but be it armor, beachwear, but I'm just glad you're here. She pulls in Juby for a hug.
There's a unfiltered exhale of relief as she hugs Shawnee too. Just I really missed you.
I did too. But things aren't over, okay? Like I promised before, you start making time for us, for me, and we can catch up and do all that talking stuff, okay? I think right now, though, we've got something bigger to deal with, though. She kind of like pulls away from the hug, but leaves her hand on Juby's cheek for a little bit, caressing her face. We're
Fair
blown apart.
enough. Fair enough. I need you to do what you do best. 2 things. Hit hard. Don't die.
Gotten slightly better at that second thing, don't worry.
I think with all of our forces combined, just glancing over the group and Kamar and Malral, the other companions,
Sup?
I like to think we've got a good shot at this.
Not even 5 minutes and you're already doing the old leadership speeches.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Apologize. We missed them.
Can't good speeches to a pack of wolves.
I mean, to be fair, I know you asked for one of us to be the leader, but I don't know if they happened. It's hard to fill a void so large.
You mean we're not a democracy?
Maybe a bit more so democracy, but
We
the
do what
power
works.
the power of a good leader cannot be understated.
We inspire each other, though. That's enough to get us by so far. And we'll be enough for each other to beat the Ashbringers. I got faith in that. Anyways, we gotta do this war council thingy or whatever.
One more person wants to hug Jubilee. You hear Jubilee as Oriana comes striding forward and embraces Jubilee tightly.
Oriana! I never expected to see you here. It's good to see you.
It is good to see you again, mon cher. She hugs you and kisses the top of your head. Have they been treating you all right? Have you been eating?
I've been eating, that's for sure. They have a feast on the daily, so it's no room for want there.
And how are the revelries?
They're something. I usually skip them, but
I don't blame you.
Usually.
Only Illya knows what this means.
I think a few of us can draw context clues.
Well, you gotta
Like my
make an
books.
appearance as Hair Master once in a while, but no,
Suddenly it coughs.
it's been good.
Well, I'm glad to hear you are all right. There's much to say, but alas, it all comes down to I am here to help, and I will stand by you to the end.
Thank you. I'll make sure there's plenty of time for catching up after.
You better, or I shall have your bottom against my hand.
You haven't threatened me like that since I was a child, but I promise.
You used to be such a good girl. But it seems the times they are changing.
Oriana, dear, nothing. It's
I am allowed to talk to my daughter like this.
no, it is understood.
Euphoria's ears perking up.
This is not something I would have expected our darling Jubilee to have been subjected to.
Well, she was not always so disciplined before she decided to run off to go play with the dogs.
Oh.
Not like
Euphoria's
Not like
biting her
books.
tongue, and Juby's like, I was perfectly refined. I went to all of my etiquette classes and ballroom dancing and
you also used to run off with that silly little half-elf boy, as she looks over at Kairos, to go play Pyrus.
that did happen, yes. Came home with a few ripped hams, mud on my shoes.
Yes, clearly you got that from your other mother.
A fun one, yeah?
Her
Clearly.
other mother is quite the
I
talented
think you
dancer,
mean
as you know.
I think you just mean her mother, yes. But I think we have slightly more pressing matters to contend with at the moment. Don't you agree, Oriana?
I believe that we should attend to the primary reason we are here. And Shardakorova kind of just sitting there, just watching all of this happen, and goes, yes, I felt that you all would probably want time to reconnect with each other before we discuss our imminent departure.
We'll all come. How about we all move inside and do a war council thingy, right?
Yep. Prince will fly on over onto Juby's shoulder and give her a nuzzle.
Oh, hello, Prince.
And he's a purr against her.
Oh, it's good to see you too.
Just nestles on her.
Gives him little head scratches.
Before we give him any more, I've already cut him off from the catnip.
Oh, poor
Special
thing.
occasion.
He needs
only
to
for
get off
special
it.
occasions.
It's not good for his health. Any more I catch in his room, I'm putting him in kitty rehab.
Yeah, as he sits on her shoulder, he makes some biscuits on her armor.
Metal biscuits.
Metal biscuits. Good source of iron.
Mhm.
And yeah, as everybody files in to the into the War Council. Yes.
If I could grab Kairos by the collar of his shirt for like 2 sentences to exchange.
Okay.
So, she's your knight in shining armor, huh?
Kinda looks a bit embarrassed and goes, "Well, she always has been. Ever since we were children, she was always the one looking out for me and protecting me."
He elbows him and just like walks a little ahead of him with a very smug look. Just like, don't worry, Casanova. I know you've got something better in mind for me down the line. Okay? And she'll walk in after the War Council and leave
He
Kairos
sputters and
flustered.
blushes as he blinks and puts his hands over his face for a moment, and his eye patch switches sides, and then kind of summons his courage to go in. Sharnakorova will be standing next to Silonia, and she will look over at Silonia and say, "I think it's more appropriate for you to lead this portion of this." And Silonia kind of nods and goes, "All right, so in order to proceed in our attack, I do know the location of the Peacemaker site itself. I believe that I can provide significant enough resonance to direct us there. However, there are still substantial defenses likely in place at that location, which brings me to a secondary place where I believe that Jarek would try to protect with significant resources if possible. There was a facility my father created using my mother's research about the nature of chimeric energy in order to create a kind of being that could survive in an appropriately post-chimeric warfighting environment. These were called the Mark X Warforged. The overall sentiment behind them was that as most Warforged were determined to develop a mortal soul in the process of creation, it could be possible to instead fill that void that would normally exist to be filled with animating energies with a modified version of raw enchantment magic with a touch of chimeric influence, thus creating a soulless and ultimately compliant soldier force to fight in the kind of conflict zones that Peacemaker could potentially create. Now, as we established on the airship itself, aboard the Goliath, the Ashbringers are in control of these creations. I do know the facility where they have been created, and I do know that there are mechanisms in place there that are directly tied to the Peacemaker defenses themselves. If the rest of the Ashbringers are going to be anywhere, they would likely be there. So this might give us the opportunity to, for one thing, shut down the production of additional soldier forces for Jarek, as well as eliminating the remaining defenses around the Peacemaker facility, and finally to be able to destroy the, 6 out of 7 Ashbringers once and for all. Any questions so far?
So, sorry, just to be clear, right? I'm trying to boil it down so that I can understand it. We're gonna go here and we're gonna beat him up, right?
Yes, I would say that.
From me, sis.
Succinctly, yes.
Okay.
Well, you are the brightest minds that I think we have gathered here. We do trust your plan.
It is one advantage of my design is that I can at least have some level of awareness about these facilities and their inner workings. I I think that if we are able to travel aboard the Silver Lining, we could be able to bring everyone into the morning. The only issue would be that once we attack the facility, we would likely be separated in order to effectively shut down everything before the Ashbringers might have a chance to figure out what we're doing and or escape. And with that, Shardakorva will chime in and go, as I said, I have resources for you. I can't join you, but I have something that might be of assistance. It allows a form of short-form dimensional jaunting. I think that I can set it up to properly interface with the good Sky Captain's airship, and this should allow the assembled strike team to be able to temporarily blink in and out of reality from the airship itself to wherever any given fighting may occur. And therefore they can be able to support each of you in your potentially separate conflicts.
Hey yo, we unlocked summoning materia.
So the airship can function as a mobile base then?
Exactly. It should be able to fill that capacity. Well, if I can lend any assistance, of course I will. Will this allow me to be able to support them more directly with my energy cannons? Very likely it should be able to at least expand the bubble for any projectiles you intend to fire. I would just be cautious of the overuse of that, considering you would be, in essence, firing blind. Ha 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 ha! Thankfully, I'm the luckiest captain in the sky.
Well, you've survived this long.
Got it, he's the fat chocobo.
The Cylonia will say, I will say that when we form our strike teams, we should be aware of the fact that this is an incredibly dangerous operation. We've never fought separately from each other before. And I ask that everyone please be mindful and please be careful.
This will no doubt be the most dangerous mission I think any of us have been on, but also the most important. Good degree of caution this would be encouraged. Support how you can, but do not be afraid to retreat if needed.
Cylonia nods. Yes, your lives are more important than this operation. Even if we have to withdraw, I'm confident I can get us to Peacemaker. It would just be a more difficult clash when we arrive there, and whichever Ashbringers are still alive at the end of this will no doubt be at Jarek's side for that final confrontation.
Then, I suppose all that's left is to decide who's going with who.
Yes, I recommend teams of 3 to ensure that we are sufficiently supported.
We cats immediately hold hands.
Yep. Latches onto Shawnee's arm.
Larissa throws her wings over the 2 cats.
Don't worry, sluts. I got your back.
Team Sluts. That is our code name. Assault teams have that,
Juby
right?
is like flabbergasted.
Our Are you sure that's the name that we're going with?
Team
Don't worry,
Sluts
it's
it is! Let's
Team S
fucking
is
go!
also fine.
Team Sluts.
Kaishen will put a hand on Euphoria and Illya's shoulder and go, "If you would have me, I desire to fight alongside you both."
Of course. Let's hope that you're better at fighting Ashbringers than winning owlbears.
Y'all need to call me too.
gives him a little pat on the shoulder.
Illya will bring them all in for like a big hug.
And
I know we
Malral
can do this together.
Malral pokes Jubilee in the shoulder and whispers in her ear, "He's your new dad."
Huh?
he then proceeds to smooch Illya and Euphoria.
Oh. Noted.
Is it the first time the cats actually see it too? Because like,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
it's just like in your books.
It is. It is just like my book.
Silonia and Asharin will slide over to Malral.
Well, I know I'm not the first pick, but I'm glad to have you anyway.
No, you would actually be uniquely placed to assist me in disabling the reactor.
Oh, good.
And somebody has to keep their eyes out for you both, says Asharin.
Hey, what's that mean? It's not like we both get... I mean, it's not like... Okay, maybe if we... No, you're right.
Oh, also, this is a fun fact for Juby. That's her first time seeing Asharin's true form.
Oh, damn, true.
Yeah, because that wasn't revealed for much later for Juby.
Oops.
Actually, now that I think about it, it would be yeah, Juby was around for that, but yeah, you never saw Asharin go full into their true form. So yeah, you see the changeling form covered in celestial golden scar tattoos.
You guys need team names too, right? I mean, we kind of can't just have like team Sluts and then what, team 1 and 2? That's boring, right?
I think 1 and 2 will suffice just fine.
Team Flaming Gear.
Say choose a name. I feel like we must, but I don't exactly have any ability to name things like that.
Cashin, you're our resident poet.
Thank you, DM.
Just toss it on us.
Wow.
Side for us.
Team Polly.
I have to say, I am not skilled at coming up with such names on the spot, but I can think about it in transit.
Works for me.
And me.
I'd love it if our allies would shout out the team name just so we know who they're helping. Totally not because I would like to hear them shout out Team Sluts.
What was Team Flaming? What was it? Team Flaming what?
Gear.
Flaming Gear.
All right. All I can think is Flaming Dragon or whatever from Tropic Thunder.
I was thinking like Metal Gear.
Yeah. You hear Asharin and Silonia both kind of say very, very passively, Team Flaming Gear. Team Flaming Gear.
It's understandable that you guys wouldn't be as excited as you would be for Team Sluts.
Team Sluts. Let's fucking do it.
Malral secretly disappointed because no one got the reference to a very old metal band he used to listen to.
Oh,
Oof.
poor
Oof.
thing.
Come on, sis, you gotta say it too.
Team Sluts.
Larissa.
Juby is like in shock right now.
Larissa gives Kamar a big nuzzle.
Listen, you spend some time in the Feywild, you miss a few things.
I suppose I do.
All right. So Sharda Korova says, I can stay with you up until you get to the morning itself, and then I will have to go my separate way, but I will be eagerly awaiting your return. From what I was told, if you do need to take any actions with the Ashbringers you slay, I can do my best to be able to shadow jump them to be treated if you are so inclined. Otherwise, well, I will be here watching.
Your oversight will be appreciated.
She nods.
Think will we head out now or on the morrow?
We just slept. I think we go.
It should take 2 days to get to the morning anyway, as the crow flies.
What about as the dragonflies?
Well, I feel that if it was a dragonfly, it would be too small for everyone to get aboard it.
No. As a dragon would fly.
Oh! Well, I wouldn't
Yeah.
know. I've never seen a dragon before.
Hmm.
I hear there aren't any here anyway. You see Shardakorova just kind of smirk.
Shame, I've always wanted to see one.
Kairos and Malral just need to tell bad jokes to each other.
Well, if I happen to see any as we fly, I'll point them out to you.
I'm too tired to come up with puns. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was like, all right, what's a pun?
Well,
silence.
I can prepare the airship, and you all can bring aboard anything you wish to take with us into the Borderlands. This should be exciting. I've never been there before. I hear that it is quite the desolate, apocalyptic place, but they say that in the dreariest of locations, you can find the greatest of glory.
You'll maybe rethink the positivity once you enter the Moonlands, but for now, keep it up.
Well, come on, we can't drag on.
All right, and everybody can load their stuff into the silver lining. Any last things you wish to buy, things you wish to say before you set sail?
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Let's kick some ass.
Let us make this stand truly worthy of legend. Let's fucking do it, sluts!
Please stop saying that.
Like, what's the problem? You're like the MILF slut here.
Oh no, I think that was Juby.
That was Juby, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You got too many pink Southerners here.
Yeah, I don't like. What's the big deal, Juby? Like, your mom's here. She's a slut. She's like the resident like MILF slut. Although technically, Illya is like the GILF slut, or I guess great GILF slut.
Not sister Ken.
It's gonna be a very fun 2 days.
At least she's not talking about babies anymore.
Oh yeah, Juby, do you want to hear all about
No.
all the polykill romances since you left?
Laris is the one drawing ship head canon to the party.
I did say I would want to catch up with everybody, but
Don't mention me. We still on that deal. And Shawnee's like shooting glares at Juby.
what? Huh?
No hearing about me till afterwards.
Okay, all right. No, Shawnee talk.
Just going to ride the next 2 days in silence, awkwardly.
But yeah, DM,
Don't worry, Juby. I'll tell you all about this cute goblin I met.
Aww.
But yeah, as you guys fly, Larissa is just going to basically just
Oh my
chew
god.
Jubilee's ear off, explaining the polycule of all the parents, as well as, Kairos and Shadi, and how Kamar and Silodia fell apart, and that Silodia is kind of a bummer now.
Hey, you know your ex and how you were going to try and get with another girl? Well, turns out that girl is now with your ex.
It's complicated.
Yep.
Sounds like it's been eventful.
If you want the mm, less audacious version, you know where to find me.
Malral offers a drink of his flask.
Shockingly, Juby will take it and take like the most reserved, delicate little sip. Coughs a little.
Actually, Juby,
Mm.
do you have a moment?
I do.
Can you come? I have something I wanted to ask you.
Well, sure. Illya, what's... Well, I was about to say what's on your mind, but I imagine, given everything I just heard and the nature of my arrival, I'm sure you've got a few things on your mind, so I guess it's kind of a silly question to ask.
Well, besides all of the eccentricities that have been explained, you'll know, as you'll find out the truth of all of it soon enough. I'm sure, as you can imagine, let's added a bit of flourish to the discussions. But I got thinking the other day, is there, I suppose this is a bit of a broad question, but is there any Eladrin that may perchance go with the title of Shaylor Lindia or anything in your time in the Wild Hunt?
She kind of smiles a little at that, just... I was wondering when you might ask that.
I take it as a yes then?
Yeah.
Does does he remember anything about us?
It comes and goes. Some days are better than others for remembering. It's easy to forget in the hunt. You understand, it's not that he doesn't want to remember.
The hunt is all-consuming, both of the enemies and of many of the people.
It's a good place to go to forget.
Mm. Don't really have any further questions. I just been a bit scared to ask. And, well, they got
If,
me talking about it recently, and now we're here, so.
if you ever do see him, he might be a little surprised. I think in his mind, you will forever be a child. He talks about you like you're younger than I am.
Understandable. Especially with the phase concept of time. We do miss you here. I know I said so last time, but
I miss you too. I miss everybody a lot. But if it brings me to this point where I can be the one to save you all, then it was worth it.
so honored to have you at our side, Jubilee.
Thanks, Illya. Now, as you said, Larissa can inflate certain truths.
Inflation, yo.
Larissa?
No.
Larissa inflation.
Don't Google that.
I had to understand that there's some special people in your life, in my mom's life.
Such a delicate way of putting it. So like you. Yes. Me and your mother have found a happiness together. She was a piece of work. Don't tell her I said that.
Well, I'm telling her.
Oh, I think she would agree with you, actually, on second thought, but but it's been good. And yes, Kai Shen, still very new, but oh, he does find a way to calm your heart and warm it in a way that I've seldom felt. Him and your mother are extraordinarily competitive and fight to the deaths on just about everything that could possibly happen, including showing affection, but
Somehow that doesn't entirely surprise me. And I understand that Malral is seeing someone too.
I believe so. It's a recent development, and we were on a date. I think when he was, but
That's good. That's nice. And
she's a firecracker, I tell you.
well, then that sounds like a pretty compatible match to me.
Indeed it is.
But and Shawnee,
Shani is she's doing all right. It's been a tough few days for her because it's the loss of LD as well as Lady Ray.
oh,
She maintains an optimism, and not a reckless optimism, I should say, like she had before. I think she is feeling her way through the world in a way that she never has before. And I will say, if you do want to potentially make any sort of amends with her, then she likes it pushy.
oh,
Show her you care.
I mean, of course I care. It's not that. It's just I I hope that she can be happy. That's all.
Oh my goodness. You are so like your mother. It kind of pains me sometimes. When when we were prior to the formal courtship, she looked for every reason to deny herself her happiness. That she she wouldn't want to compete with my past lover. That she didn't deserve it. Who do you some good to talk to her? More likes than I think you realize. And that's that she would like to admit.
It hardly sounds like my mother that I know.
If if I'm any proof, when people get hurt, I hide.
Well, I reckon it won't matter too much what I might have to say, 'cause I can't I can't I still have a job to do after all.
Indeed. Then I will leave you on this note. Whatever happens, whichever way things move forward, then I just want you to know that I'm rebuilding a portal in Shaylor, India after this, with the intention of making it two ways. I don't plan on staying in the mortal realm for too much longer. Visiting, of course, but I'll be
Huh,
there.
that would be nice. Be nice to have some company.
Hmm. Think the others may have been burned a little bit by the Fae, but, well, you know. I still find it to be a place of comfort in a strange way, but still.
Hmm.
Come here. And she'll beckon Juby for a hug.
Give her a big old hug back.
I love you, Juby.
I love you too, Illya. Thanks for helping to look after everyone.
And thank you for being that strong girl that you always.
Yep.
Though you don't sound satisfied.
No, it's fine.
Darling,
I'm fine.
she'll hold her eyes open, try and see if there's like bags.
I'm okay. It's just like I said, it's a little tough. Sometimes it's
Lonely.
sure. And I try every day, all day, to not forget. I don't want to forget.
We'll be there for you.
Thank you.
And she'll kind of pat Juby on the back and say, "Go on. I know you have a lot of catching up to."
Yeah, I'll be going then.
Rest for you.
Okay. On that note, we will actually be ending early tonight. Our poor little Litro needs all the snoozes in the world because capitalism be riding his ass. So we're gonna end early tonight. We'll be picking up next time with entering the Mornlands and the big battle against the Ashbringers. So stay tuned for more action. But yeah, thank you guys all for hanging out tonight. I hope you had fun. You should go check out all of these wonderful players. Also, if you've missed any of the 60 other episodes of Eberron Ash's Last War, you can find them in !D&D. I actually had somebody recently say they started watching the series, which always makes me happy. If you start watching it, for whatever reason you're on episode 61 and then decide to actually watch the show, please message in the YouTube comments that you saw me and you're watching it, because I will be very happy. And if you are in my Discord community, please feel free to message me. I am always happy to talk about this campaign because I wrote it. And it's been a year and a half of running it. So I really appreciate all of you guys for hanging out tonight for it. I'll be back here on Wednesday we're going to play some Solstice. I gotta fucking beat that game. I need to uninstall it. I got 6 chapters left, so we'll be playing some Solstice. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. If you haven't done so already, yes, talk to all of the players about Ashes. Everyone loves Ashes. Also, if you ever want to see any of the Ashes art that I have commissioned, hit me up. I have several pieces. Most of it has been shown on stream, but yeah, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch. Give me a follow on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. That is all for tonight. We're gonna raid Tilly, everybody's favorite little elf. She's playing retro Final Fantasies. This seems to be real early Final Fantasy because it's like a top-down thingy that looks very poorly pixelated.
Let's go!
Not the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV.
Final Fantasy 14.
Yeah. If you're a follower, please copy down the call to Hugs message. If you're a sub, please copy down the Knights message. Let's go send everyone's favorite big titty elf Tilly lots of love. She has this little black mage outfit for her model, and it's super cute. So I hope you guys all have a great night. And most importantly, the sweetest of dreams. Bye!
Bye!
Bye.